I've been the Vice President for the Selection Committee for the medical device investments, and I have helped to find interesting medical device companies, identify those and select them with a team which of the ones should be presenting here at the Healthtech Summit. Earlybird is a venture capital company based out of Germany with offices in Berlin and Munich. We are in existence since 1998, have invested in over 120 companies, both in the tech area, ICT, as well as in healthcare. We are currently setting up a dedicated health technology fund, and we have split our focus so that we have dedicated vehicles. Currently we have about 700 million under management. Earlybird has quite a lot of history in digital technologies because of our ICT business. We've been following this quite thoroughly, and of course it's now evolving into healthcare. We strongly believe that physicians will play a very active role in providing digital care. So a direct-to-consumer model, we believe, has its limits because the physician needs to get an involvement, or at least needs to endorse the technology. So we're looking quite a bit at it. Most of it's actually what we would call a consumerization of healthcare, i.e. that healthcare can be provided outside of classical care settings, be it a hospital, be it a rehab, or be it anything, but be at home. So as we all carry our mobile phones on us, which is basically a computer and a data transmission tool, and allows all of a sudden care being taken care outside of the classical settings. And that is quite an interesting one. It helps save cost, but not only that, it improves outcomes. So we can actually all of a sudden detect onsets of diseases earlier than we would have done without, by monitoring patients who are, for instance, chronically diseased or anything like that. The selection process was slow to start with, I have to admit. Actually, there was quite a bit of debate in terms of where is the line between digital care and medical devices. I think it's actually blurring, and that's why I believe it should be actually moved together. I think digital care is part of Medtech and vice versa. So Medtech is part of digital care as well. The innovation is right there at the crossroads. It's not necessarily about developing or inventing new therapies. It's all about where can they be provided. Can they be provided outside of the hospital, in a rehab home? Can you monitor chronically ill diseased patients so that the physician can proactively call in patients, like from your car industry, for instance, where you say you need to go to have your oil change done. And I believe the interaction between physicians and patients will change over time, that it's not only be physical like it is today, but it will be remote as well, at least partially. Not all of it, but partially. So the crossroads between digital and medical devices actually what was probably the biggest debate during the selection process of where is that line? Is there a line, and should there be a line? I'm actually quite convinced that there is not a line, so actually I think that will change for the next years to come, because digital and medtech will merge together and blur together. But other than that, we found quite interesting companies. I think Europe is really on the verge of becoming really dominant. The US is different when it comes to digital care because the patients are willing to pay quite a bit on their own. That is not the case in socialized healthcare like we have in Europe and most of the countries. So we need to find the business models and actually get the payers involved to accept that as well, which is not the easiest task. The payers are slow usually.